Let's talk about how XYs will endanger the lives of you and your children.
I've been tagged in this video because of my outdoor recreation risk management videos and my discussions about heuristics and heuristic traps. A heuristic is the way we make decisions by doing mental shortcuts, and a heuristic trap is the way that we make these decisions in a poor way. I've also discussed heuristic traps and cultural norms that can lead to heuristic traps. And initially, when I watched this video after I was tagged in it, I had some questions as to whether this was really a heuristic trap that everybody fell into, but now I definitely do believe that. First and foremost, what we have is a heuristic trap, sometimes referred to as a non-event feedback loop. In the video, she talks about how her husband had been through another storm and like it was fine last time. And so he was like, well, why should we leave? It's going to be fine this time. Of course, that is a heuristic trap. The cultural heuristic trap that exists here is where, number one, she did not have a veto. We always say that in wilderness risk management, everybody has a veto, no matter who they are. Anybody can say, we should turn around. It's getting too dangerous. The cultural aspect here is that we have a power imbalance in a romantic relationship, and her ability to say, nope, we need to leave, is not being respected. And so that power imbalance within the relationship is also a heuristic trap. Initially, when I was watching this video, I thought, oh, well, usually with heuristic traps, the way I think about them, they're decision-making in a few minutes. They're not like this long decision-making process, but that's not what we see here. We see somebody who knew that the storm was getting worse and that the conditions weren't changing, but he fell into yet another heuristic trap, and that's called commitment bias. In wilderness risk management, we might call that summit fever, where we're trying to get to the summit, even though the hazard is getting really bad. And so he fell into this commitment bias trap. Finally, there was a lot of discussion about ego in this. We cannot actually determine this individual's state of mind. It certainly, absolutely, 100% could have been an ego thing. I'm going to ride this out so I can tell my friends I rode this out fully. That could have been true. But also these other things can play into it too, especially the commitment bias aspect, where you've made a decision and you're unwilling to change that. A proper risk management thought process would have included error correction, which means no matter how difficult it is, you have to correct your error before it gets worse. That pierces the commitment bias. Listening to the wife would have pierced the commitment bias, or any of these other things, falling into that cultural heuristic trap. And of course, recognizing right at the beginning that you're in a non-event feedback loop would have been a way to get out of this. Now, honestly, everything went fine for these people. But does that mean that next time he's going to fall into all these same traps? Unfortunately, the answer is probably.